All right, and we're good. Previously on Curse of Strahd. The three of you left Voctor House after a very successful party. You apologized to her about making a scene in the town square at the hanging of Viktor Velakovich. Though you disagree with it, you recognize that, yeah, that probably wasn't the best place to make a scene. You, in recompense, decided to leave her with your spell book. She continues to hold your spell book, but left you a parting gift of another tome, one that describes the topography of Barovia, and another tome that also describes a ritual, how one might manage being possessed by a ghost. You went back and did some heavy reading with Anna until the lantern lights faded and Anna left the tavern, the Blue Water Inn, and met Strahd von Zarovich, the devil himself in the streets. There he took her out to Lake Zarovich, where she saved a girl named Bella. He then took her to the Vistani camp just outside of Alaki, where they partied all night long, enjoying each other's company, conversing, and she discovered a dusk elf without any ears waking up from horrible nightmares. At the same time, during that night, Rillirn and Amadeus were inside the Blue Water Inn collecting all the components necessary. With the help of Lenore, you were able to get the incense, the sage, and make the salt circle, or salt triangle, to perform the ritual. Just in time for dusk, you were able to commune with the spirit of Vladimir Horngard, the revenant that possessed you in Argynvostholt. There, you made a deal with him that you would help him in finding this Tatyana, the long-lost object of Strahd's desire, and that perhaps you don't kill her outright, but savor her for torture, to make Strahd as miserable as possible. A dark and twisted promise, one that, so far as we know, you're not likely to uphold. But Vladimir seemed convinced in the moment. Annalie returned early in the morning after visiting Lady Voctor, and then returned to the tavern to sleep. The two of you left and traveled around the city of Alaki. After some time talking to Lady Voctor, not discovering any news about Anna, you decide to return to the inn to see where she might be. And that is where we will begin. Two of you walking through the street. Lenore trails slightly, letting the two of you walk side by side.
She trails.
Yeah, she trails like she's behind you.
Was she there with us?
She didn't come in with
No.
us.
I
No,
thought
she was still sleeping.
Yeah, she was still
It's like she's not there.
Okay.
The two of you were there.
I was really confused for a second.
Good call. Yeah.
Just the boys
I didn't remember.
trip, man. Just the boys.
It's the boys. Boys walking back to the Blue Water Inn. It is around 11 o'clock in the morning. You slept in. You getting your first good night's sleep in a long time.
On the floor.
With a pillow and blanket.
Thank you. Can't imagine what you ran out to. Did she? You didn't see her before she left? Did she
No.
say anything?
She was gone when I got back.
Did she say anything last night before we went up and started the ritual?
No, not a
Indicating
word.
where she was going?
Nothing.
I guess we can just wait in the tavern for her then, or
She's in bed.
Yeah, you walk through the streets. The day is picked up. There's quite a bit of people out and about. You pass the driving of the blacksmith, come around that corner there, and enter the Blue Water Inn. Inside you see, behind the kitchen bar, Lenore is standing there. She's polishing a couple glasses and putting them away. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Didn't want to wake you, so I snuck out of bed.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Don't get to sleep in often.
Have you seen Emily at all come in?
Is she not in her room?
I don't believe so.
We didn't even check that.
That's
One might
probably
start.
where we should have.
Where were you off to?
We were at Lady Coffee.
Thought maybe she might know something. She usually has a nose in things, so who knows.
She wasn't here when I got back last night.
No.
Rillirn out, so
Yes, I saw her leave.
Did she say where she was going?
No.
Did she say anything, or did she just leave?
She put the book down and walked out that door.
she did leave.
All
You
right.
care for breakfast?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
lunch? Yes.
I guess lunch would be more appropriate.
Let me see what I can find. She goes and steps back off into the kitchen.
Well, we should probably check your room.
I guess. Should. Yeah. Might as well.
You go first.
She's your sister.
Chill.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, you walk up those stairs, come into the room that you know that she stayed in before. You walk up to that door and
You go to peek in.
peek in. Okay. Peeking in, you see her lying there beneath the covers. Her hair is all that you can really see as she's turned away from you. Yeah, you know that she's in bed. And I close the door.
Well,
What's
she's
she
in
in
there. Sleeping.
Well, there we go. Problem solved.
Still don't know where she went last night.
You know where she is now.
True, but aren't you a little bit curious? I mean, it's kind of odd just
Only in the
running off.
Only in the curiosity of knowing. I don't really care one way or the other what she was doing, but
Seemed like an important time to help you, so I'm a little bit curious what she finds more important.
I mean, I'm more or less out of under control. There's just a brief moment of panic.
A little more to panic about, but
Well, yes, but I mean, you were there.
I was.
Luckily, thank you again very much.
Of course.
I guess
We'll just let her sleep.
yeah. You can ask when she wakes up. No problem.
You hear the faint ding 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 of a bell downstairs.
Is the
Guess it's
tavern open
time
again?
to eat.
Crazy. All right. I go downstairs.
Look it downstairs
Yeah.
and make sure you beat Rillirn there.
Okay.
I walk slowly and let it pass me.
Yeah, you come running up to the side of the bar where Lenore goes. She sets down the bell. Always wanted to ring that. Yeah, food. They just had wolf steak.
Perfect.
I hope it's not too old. Has a little bit of a funny smell, but I think it should be fine.
Thank you very much, Lenore. I
Yeah, of
really
course.
appreciate it.
I did want to talk to you about something. I know that I mentioned before that I have set aside a dowry from my father, of course. And seeing as we discussed, we don't want to stay here too much longer, I thought perhaps today would be a good day to see about retrieving that dowry.
You're planning on leaving?
Well, I was hoping that
Just don't want to stay here.
Why not?
Well, for one, we're sort of squatting.
Why don't we not squat then?
What do you mean?
I mean, I gotta get in the businessman mode. I mean, what if we try to? I know it's probably not the best timing to do so at the moment, but try to restart the inn. Get it
We
back
would
going.
need Danica's permission. Is that
Of
something
course.
you have time to do? You want to run the inn?
I mean, we're in Velaki quite a bit. We travel here and there, but
And who will run the inn and who will stand at the bar and
I mean,
make
it's
the
merely,
dishes?
it is merely an idea at this point in time, yes.
I don't
but-
mean to shoot it down or anything, it's just.
No, of course, those
you-
things need to be thought of.
Well, you'll have to pay someone to
Yes.
do that, I assume.
I was gonna say, you can't run it yourself.
No, of course not.
How much
And
we got going on, I don't think we have a lot of time.
yes, and I'm well aware of all of that. I'm just saying, I mean, how much money do you have on this?
Well, more now, thanks to my wife.
And is that very much though still?
I did see there were a couple of houses for sale, I was hoping that we might purchase one.
It's worth looking into.
No, of course. And I
I'm
mean,
all
if,
for restarting.
if you decide, if you'd rather just move into a house, that's totally fine, and I completely understand that. I just thought it could be a nice thing if we could get it running again and rebuild the trust with it.
I think
I
in
mean-
time we will,
Yes.
but just not right now.
Personally, more so than the money aspect, I want to do it for Erwin.
Of course, yeah.
I-
agree with that.
I feel terrible for other things that he's gone through since meeting us, and I feel like we owe this to him. If not now, eventually.
Well, we can talk to Danica while we're there and we can see about it.
Do we have anything going on today, or
I still don't have my spell book, so I'm not doing much of anything.
when do we need to go?
I was hoping to leave now.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
You must use.
Will you be alright?
It'll be quite alright.
You see Lenore kind of look upstairs at that room. Will she be alright?
She should be fine for now.
I'll be here. If she wakes up, comes downstairs, I'll be
We
here
haven't
then.
had any issues lately.
It seems fine.
Sure. I packed a few things. You feel okay flying?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, I'm very excited to see this actually.
I don't like watching you.
I'll look from a mirror so you don't technically know that I'm watching you.
Okay, Rillirn.
She kind of takes a couple steps back, grabs a small satchel and just kind of sets it down on a table there. By all means.
Alright. Maybe real performance.
No. Describe it.
Oh, bro, heck.
Well, it's less painful than before. Or not as painful as it was before.
Yep.
I'm just gonna kind of jump in the air, and then I want to try to like turn into a raven. Then
That's
just kind of.
Yeah. You twist and form and just turn into a raven. With that, she kind of just gives a faint smile before doing the same. Flipping and turning, she twists into a blackbird, lands on the table, and picks up the satchel in her mouth.
incredible. Wow.
Took a lot of practice.
I understand that. You just said that. But do I
No,
understand?
you hear just this kind of.
Oh, so she understands me.
She can understand you, but
Gotcha.
yeah, to everyone else, you sound like a raven in raven form.
Got it. Rillirn, you
Sound like
suck.
one.
You just kind of hear the.
I don't know what that means.
Lenore kind of picks up the satchel and begins flying over towards the door there. She kind of stops there at the door, like looking up at it and then looking to you.
I go over and open the door.
Okay. Yeah, she goes, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. She goes and flies out. With that, You stand there watching two ravens fly out into that afternoon haze that covers the land of Barovia. Left alone down the stairs. Your steak half eaten, still sitting at the bar. And now we will go to Anna. You lay there in bed and wake up easy, like nothing you've ever felt before, a sense of peace and calm, as if you have no work in sight, no worries. You wake up with a faint light coming in through the window there.
Perfect, because that's what I wrote.
Wow.
I don't know, it was like the best sleep I've had in forever.
Or you finally caught up.
No, I'm just ready when I wake up.
What do you do?
I sit up, and then I sit up just slowly, and there's a window in my room, right?
Yes, yeah. It's shuttered on that far end, but you still see light coming in through the slats.
I don't know what time it is, so I'm gonna walk over to the window and open it up.
Okay. Yeah, you walk over to that window and opening it, you find that the day is in full swing. It's probably around noon. And you look out and you see horses and carriages drawn through the road, people walking in the streets, in and out of houses.
I just want to sit there for a second, just like taking in the view of just the village in Barovia, and just feeling that like peace that you were talking about, of just that I actually do really like it here.
With that, you see a pair of ravens go flying through the street, sailing up into the sky. You, knowing ravens, might take a guess at who those are.
It's not
You hear a door kind
It's
of
me.
shut. And yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna go out the door.
as you step out, you find yourself at the banister looking down. You see Rillirn there. I assume you turn back kind of towards your wolf steak.
Yeah.
You come out quietly and he doesn't notice you.
I'm
I
just
just
gonna.
started eating.
I'm gonna walk down quietly.
Can I roll for perception to see if I notice?
No.
Yeah, you don't. She's absolutely silent. There's something just about the way you're walking. You almost find it strange that he didn't hear you come down the stairs. But yeah, you walk up right beside him, behind him. Describe.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk up behind him and lean down and whisper "relearn" into his ear. Well.
I did this to Desi just yesterday. Oh my god.
I figured I could get you.
And you did. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Or afternoon,
Afternoon.
kind of. How are you doing?
Really great. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It was an interesting night last night.
Yes. How did it go?
Better than expected until after I was done conversing with him.
Okay.
Yeah, it went very bad after that. I broke the salt line that I made because I thought the ritual was done. It's finished. Broke it and started disintegrating. Just flecks of sand falling off me.
Oh my goodness.
Luckily, Amadeus was here to come back and fix the salt line, but it was quite harrowing.
Do you only have a certain amount of time to like perform the spell? And is that why you thought it was done?
I mean, he stopped talking to me, so I assumed it was done. But I guess I have to stay in there the whole night.
Is there anything we could find out about that? Maybe there's a specific time frame, not the whole night. I mean, do you feel well rested?
Oh, very. Yes, that was... I slept on the floor, but I slept incredibly.
Well, as long as you feel okay.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Well. What did you find out? What did he say?
Well, he's definitely on the prowl for one Tatyana. Hoping to kill her. But I have a plan, more or less thought out, that I think we can work with.
To kill her.
Yes,
What was his reasoning for this?
to make Strahd as miserable as possible. So not even anything to do with her necessarily, but only to do with him. Which I don't have a reason to want to anger him. He hasn't done anything to us.
So what did you propose?
So I proposed that I would help him find her and that we would not kill her right out if we did. So I have saved time and hopefully we never find Tatyana. Or if we do, it's not the real one.
I see. Sounds a bit that we're walking on eggshells here.
But we have a very powerful ally now, if we need to call upon him.
Can you
And-
call upon him at any moment?
No, because the deal is not firm yet.
The deal. So you have to make a deal with him first.
I already have. He's not accepted.
And what deal was this?
The one I
The-
just told you.
So in exchange for finding Tatyana and not killing her but torturing her,
Yes.
he would be your ally.
Yes.
For how long of time?
As long as it takes to find Tatyana.
So this is your new plan instead of getting this thing out of you.
This is my intermediary plan. I still very much want to get him out of me. But, how is that even going to work? We have no priest performing exorcism. We have no priest to perform the spell required. The most powerful spellcaster that I can think of, I haven't met him yet. And the other one that is in here is currently a crazy madman.
Man.
And the other one is Amadeus, and I'm not using him actually.
Do we know that when does he know anything right now? Like, could he be, when you're relearn and in your state, does he still have access to the knowledge that you possess?
From what I can tell, no, because I was not able to remember anything from the night that he was in control.
Okay.
And when I talked to him, he had no recollection of what happened when I'm in control. So our minds are very much split in that way. We share the actual mind, but our spirits possess it at different times.
What if you're possessed longer? Couldn't that potentially lead to more of a connection between you two?
It could, but it has not been done yet, so we do not know the ramifications of that.
Do you know how dangerous that could be, though? The longer you stay in this state, then the longer he could have access to what you know.
The longer I could have access to what he knows. I believe it will all work out. It will be fine. There's no need to worry about it. I have it under control.
You almost died last night because you messed up on the salt line.
It's not a wizard ritual. It's not one that I'm familiar with. Caught me by surprise.
Well, I think Strahd's castle should be off the table for now.
Oh yes, of course. I don't even have my spell book, so I'm not going there.
Well, you have this spirit inside of you that seems to be.
Yes, definitely not.
Don't
there.
know if it's necessarily after Strahd, but we do know what it's after at least.
You know, it's a primary goal at this moment.
So what should we do moving forward? You know what I know.
Yes, quite.
And how are we gonna proceed?
Well, I mean, he doesn't know who it is, and he's he's seen you, so he knows that you aren't her.
It's a little thing we can hold on to for now.
Yes, as long as nobody mentions the other name at night, we should be solid.
You seem optimistic about it, so
I am more just excited to have this little taste of power. It's exciting. Just from hearing that you guys told me that I did the other night, I mean, whew, if I can control it,
still,
could be interesting.
I don't know. It's tampering with something, I think, beyond you at this point. You should tread carefully. It is power, which can lead people very astray.
Many things can lead people astray.
Yes, but power is definitely one of the biggest ones. So I
I
would
don't know
still
about biggest, but most prominent, definitely.
still hold your head. I think our first thing should still be to get this thing out of you. So we should still be
Yes.
doing the research
Yes, true.
and still trying to get him out. For everyone's sake.
Yes,
Maybe a little bit more of my own, but
of course.
With that, we are about to jump to Amadeus. But in the meantime, you have several hours before nightfall, and the day open ahead of you. It is roughly around 1 in the afternoon. What would you like to be doing?
I would, before I leave, I just want to relay what I read in the book. Because I did read about Mount Caucasus.
Oh, yes, yes.
Anyway, you want me to
Yeah,
say?
go ahead.
When I was reading last night, I did find some information on Mount Caucasus.
Oh, you found something.
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
incredible. What is it? What was it?
I found that it is the tallest mountain in Barovia, and you have to have special clothes to even make it to the top, or to even make it up there. I don't remember the name of them, but it has a specific piece that you have to wear, and otherwise you will die. So you cannot
Excellent.
survive on there just going up there, and very few people sell it. I mean, we can look at a map and see if there's towns closer to this mountain. I would think that they would maybe sell something that we could buy to make.
Yes, there's a town or village over there that might be good.
That is what I remember.
After pondering more and maybe opening the book that you still have, yes, it was left there on the table. You recall that it was called a Yuluk bear. It is a certain kind of bear native to the Caucasus Mountains, and it provides a certain sort of pelt that has insulation for such extreme weathers. No other furs are cutting it for such extreme weather and extreme cold. With that, we are going to go ahead and jump.
Yay.
Buying a house.
Amadeus, you and
What?
Lenore soar over the land of Barovia, following the Svalish road for some time. You see down there small, almost miniature people. As they walk, some of them look like hunters, some of them travelers. You see a few Vistani, and far off, a wagon makes its way down the road. A Vistani wagon, one you don't recognize, but its bright colors and swaying lanterns, the horse that jingles with its jewelry and beads as it comes trotting down the road there. Lenore catches your attention as she sort of dives low and suddenly comes rising up with this steady flutter of wind. Can you feel the updraft?
A little.
Oh, it's over the trees. It's a warm day.
I guess I follow her.
Yeah, she kind of leads you down over a specific patch of trees there, and suddenly you feel the wind hot underneath you, warmer than anything, that headwind that you're going along into. It carries you up, and you feel your feathers, they all kind of spread out with that you get this great surge of energy flying up higher into the clouds, and the land receding far beneath you. She continues just laughing. The land, it's in a sort of mood today. Can you feel it?
Don't really understand what you're talking about.
You will. It's the wind. The
Oh.
wind. Don't be such a boy. She goes and turns, rolling over.
Yeah.
You see her plummet, then low down to the ground, just kind of playing in the wind there.
Okay, I kind of want to try and follow at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll for dexterity.
18.
18, yeah, and you follow her quite well, and she kind of turns back at you, looking surprised almost that you're able to follow her. She picks up her speed. She carries it up on an updraft. And with that, she folds her wings, and you see her plummet once more. Down, 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 down. And then just before you think she might crash into the tree line, her wings spread open and she goes soaring forward. Do you try and follow?
I'm doing the same thing.
Okay, roll.
7.
Yeah, with that, you dive. You get closer and closer to the trees. Do you decide to pull up or do you keep going?
I'm gonna pull up.
Okay. Yeah, with that, you pull up. You find yourself not even close. She's still far, far beneath you. So low, in fact, that she's actually having to dive around some of the taller trees. As that momentum carries her, and then she slows, you're able to catch up. You hear her faint laughter, but there, off in the distance, you see cold gray stone against the sky. A statue of a silver dragon, its wings curled back, and mist that rolls through the tree lines reveals the different towers and peaks of this great mansion, Argynvostholt. You've been traveling for some time. It's getting closer to evening. You think it's roughly around 4, maybe, sun setting somewhere around 6. But you do see there are a few ravens that are perched atop the crest of this mansion. The two of you part there. She, right before you, spins, the black folds of her feathers and wings unfolding until she stands there again, her clothes loosened and torn, ripped. She pulls them back up over herself, carrying the satchel then. She strings it up underneath her arm and looks up to you as you come down. Do you also turn? I do. Before her there. Go ahead and roll, actually. Let's see how your landing is.
It's gonna be a 17.
17, yeah, you land quite well, spinning out of that raven form. You land there, grabbing at your clothes. You find your pants have torn. You have to kind of hold them to keep them up, tighten your belt again. But you find yourself landed there. She takes your arm and steadies you for a moment, just smiling. She kind of pulls you in close and continues with your momentum, walking up towards the front doors of Argynvostholt.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
I think you are. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Just don't, just mind your manners.
I will do my best.
Okay. She goes up to that front door there. Before she can knock, it creaks open. And you see Elvir, Erwin's youngest brother. Lenore! He goes and gives her a big hug. He smiles, looking over her shoulder. And Amadeus! He goes to hug you. He pulls you in tight.
I try to push that hand in.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Good to see you.
It's so good to see you. How was it?
It was good.
Obviously, you can fly now. Yes.
Yes.
You're liking it?
Yes. A little scary. Still learning.
You'll be learning for a while. It takes a bit to get the hang of. But have you heard he's back?
I've not heard. No, this is news to me.
Well, he's expecting you.
Hopefully, not gonna torture me this time.
I hope not. He seems to be in a better mood since last you saw him.
That's good.
Did you come in?
Yes, of course.
He guides you into this main hall there. You recognize it very clearly. You pass underneath these brass chandeliers. You see a couple kids, Brom and Bray, as they run about. One of them jumps off one of the higher ledges of the stairs, turns rapidly into a raven, flutters to the ground, and spins out into a boy again as he goes turning on the ground, running, scrawling across the floor. His brother chasing him, they're playing tag. Oh, come back here! It's like, you can't catch me! You think you can catch me just because you're older than me? He goes running and he goes headlong into another woman standing there. Watch it. He goes, sorry, ma'am. His brother goes up, tags him hard on his back. Ow! He goes spinning off, and the two go running out into another hallway. You kind of have to walk past them as they come scrawling past you. Lenore just turning. It's good to see them in good spirits.
Yes, it is.
Elgar, where's Danica? He goes, I think she's out today. She spends a lot more time in the woods these days. Just sort of continues. You walk along the side of this great hall, and he leads you to a side door. Opening it up, you see and hear several people inside, all of them talking amongst each other. At once, and then goes, Lenore! Her father comes out, his hair bushy white, his beard long and streaked with gray. He goes, his eyes squinting, holds her, just pulls her in for a tight hug, and she goes, Papa, please, please. He goes, it is so good to see you. I thought, I just, and Amadeus. He goes and again hugs you.
Go for the handshake again.
No, he wraps you in a big hug. Oh, my boy,
good
welcome
see
to
you.
the family. Welcome. Yes, welcome.
Too long about.
Why have you come back so soon?
It's Lenore's idea.
I was thinking it is about time we purchase our own place to stay. Oh, of course, yes. I will fetch it now. Yes, absolutely, my dear. Of course. It is so good to see you. Okay, I'll be back. You stay right here, okay? I'll be back. He goes and kind of turns out the door. He goes quickly. You see up towards the front of the room. It's a very long room. Set of windows all along both sides. At the far end, there is painted to look like gold or brass, but all of it faded. Stonework and woodwork, rotten, fallen apart, cushions sort of punctured and stuffing bled out. But sitting atop them, Adrian. He sits there, leaned forward, conversing rather specifically to two other Mardikovs. You can't really hear what they're saying, but they're talking rather discreetly.
I like to go up to him.
Okay. Yeah. You walk up through that room. You come about halfway before he kind of takes a look over someone's shoulder and waves them off to the side. He too stands up to not appear as if he's sitting on a throne, which he is. He comes walking towards you and meets you about the 3/4 mark of the room, closer to the throne.
Adrian, how are you doing?
I'm well. Welcome to the family. He goes and extends you a hand.
Oh man.
Why have you come?
Lenore is wanting to purchase a home.
Is she? No one told me.
Were we supposed to tell you everything?
I am the leader of the Keeper of the Feathers, so
Of course.
it would be nice to know these things, yes. But welcome to the family.
Yes, thank you.
I do want to apologize for the means of our last conversation. It was perhaps rash of me.
I understand in those situations how hard it can be.
It is not easy to lead.
No.
I will say, if anything, as a Martikov joining the Keepers of the Feathers, it is good to know that you are able to keep a secret, even under extreme duress.
I'll do my best.
I am impressed.
Well, if you ever need anything, I'm the leader. Feel free to ask.
It is funny you should say such a thing. At that moment,
Miss
the door opens wide at the far end room. Lenore! Lenore! Oh, dear, dear. He comes walking up. I mentioned to the others, your uncles and your aunts, all of them, they wish to chip in as a wedding gift to the tour. He goes and sees you standing side by side with Adrian and kind of goes quiet. For you, no?
Thank you very much.
As he holds out that bag and you go to grab it, Adrian sort of steps forward. Please. I am all for you purchasing whatever you will with your money, but as a Martikov, you have greater responsibilities now, not just to your wife, but to your family. And if you are this chosen one, then I think it's about time that you step up and act as the chosen one, no?
Probably right.
Good. The druids that ransacked our winery not long ago, they came not only to drive out my family and disrupt our business, of which they did, and caused extreme harm to our reputation, I'm sure you know.
Of course.
They have also taken something from us.
What is it?
As a Martikov and as a keeper of the feather, you are sworn to secrecy, do you understand?
Yes.
This is not uttered outside these walls, it is not uttered outside the name Martikov.
I understand.
For as long as these mists have controlled this land, the sunlight makes it impossible to grow such crops as grapes. No other farmer has been able to see such a successful yield as we have, and only recently with the blights it has become rather obvious that what artifact that made this growth possible was taken from us. In checking the vaults, the seed is missing.
Seed.
The seed was a gift from a great wizard some time past. He came to this land, and with the helps of the Martikovs, he agreed to give them, to bestow such an artifact as to make their wine crop yield such great, not only in taste but abundance. He wanted to see the land brought some sort of joy once again. And there is little joy to be found in Barovia. Many of its patrons turn to this wine. The red ram crush and the purple grape mash, these two yields impossible without this seed that has been stolen.
How long ago was it stolen?
It is difficult to say. It happened before the sacking of the winery. No one became aware of it before these needle blights started to appear, and not long after the druids came. It would be about a month or so.
Do you have any leads? Do you know where it might possibly be at?
We know they camp at Yester Hill.
Yes.
There is still a remaining force at the winery, but they will not keep it at the winery. It would yield crop if it was there. I fear what purpose they have in using it. Perhaps it is only to take what we have, but perhaps there is some sort of darker purpose. Before your gift is such a dowry, and I will of course make a donation myself for the happy couple.
We greatly appreciate it.
Of course. I would request you return the seed.
Yes.
Very well. With that, we will return.
How about you can drink
We're
it?
returning to storyline A now. We're done with the B line.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're about to.
Well,
Inspiration.
Yeah, it's like,
you got an aces for it?
whatever.
Yeah, so good job.
Yeah,
The
man,
two of you.
bad, so.
I didn't know if you won the ones I
Oh yeah, thank you.
We're like,
I appreciate it.
made. Yeah. I
The
didn't
two
know.
of you, describe how you spend your time. It has grown late in the day. You have perhaps 2 hours before nightfall again. What do you do?
And I have a request of you.
Yes.
Come forth. I know you left last night. I don't know where. Doesn't bother me. Whatever you want to do is your own. But I would request that you stay here tonight. Just in case something goes wrong. And I don't know when Amadeus is getting back. If you're somewhere else you need to be, I totally understand, but
Okay.
it would be appreciated if you could.
Okay. I'll stay.
Yes. Yeah.
But if things go badly, I'll need to leave. Just in case if something happens and he finds out who I am.
Oh.
If that's the case.
Yes, no. If you just stay in the tavern, you don't have to be in the room. I can call you when I believe it
I
is
would
safe.
like to talk to them.
Really?
Yes. I
Okay.
want to see his motives. Why?
Interesting. No, that's fine. I assumed you wouldn't want to. But no, yeah, okay.
I want to know why he's chosen her as a target. I can guess to get at Strahd,
Yeah.
but I just have a few questions. I'm curious about a few things.
I'm definitely open to it. It would be a good idea to get another set of eyes and ears on this situation. See if you can discern something maybe I can't.
Yeah.
Yes, that could be good though. We'll need to get prepped and ready. I mean, it's not much longer. And
So what do we
until
do?
then,
Salt, I presume?
I don't know if we would need a new line, or I believe it's mostly still set up upstairs. We can go and check and make sure, but
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
we'll
go
need
see, I guess.
salt, incense, and
But do we have it all,
sage.
or did the incense and sage burn away?
We'll have to check. We do have time, so it's a good idea to go now and find out.
All right, let's go up and check.
Yeah, you walk upstairs. You see actually Lenore had set aside a couple extra bundles of sage, and the incense that burned, you presume it's maybe about a quarter of the pouch, so you could get maybe 3 more nights out of it.
Okay. How does the salt line look? Does it look like it'll
It's
work?
been disturbed, but you figure that you might be able to reconstruct it.
Things seem most in order, actually. I'll just straighten out the salt line,
Okay.
and then I guess I've just gotta lay down like I did last night. I guess we have probably about 30 minutes until I have to start that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm just gonna stand there.
Me too.
Time progresses and you find yourself getting ready, trying to get in that mental state to empty your mind and calm your emotions. You kind of sitting there about watching him.
Mhm.
He creeps into your mind more than once. The thoughts of last night.
Dang it. I like that song's good. I love that one.
You think about your time spent with Strahd, daydreaming, until you find Rillirn standing there, getting himself ready. You step inside that triangle. Describe how you prepare yourself.
I'm gonna and then just sit down and go like this again. Crisscross applesauce. It's hard to get my mind.
You focus, and as you do hear that ticking of that clock. Those clocks in your pocket, each one of them, slightly different times. Go ahead and roll a wisdom save. What do you get?
2.
I'd like to use my inspiration point.
What did you get? And that one? All right, I'll let you. I'll let you use it. Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of came into this early, so you find yourself heavily distracted by that ticking of the clocks. Do you want to do anything to help limit that distraction?
Annalie, could you take my watches, put them under like a pillow or something, or even take them out of the room potentially? Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and roll again.
7.
7. Yeah, with the 7, you sit there in contemplation, trying to wrap your mind around that mindlessness, but at the same time, you have this sense of fear about you, of what might transpire. All the while, your eyes, they peek open, and they see Anna. Anna, what are you doing?
I'm just watching him. I'm gonna be sitting on the ground too,
Okay. Yeah,
in front of him.
you peek up and you just see her watching you. You notice he peeks. Roll again.
There it is. 18.
There we go, baby.
Oh my gosh.
With an 18,
You're beautiful.
you feel your breath finally calm, and Anna, you hear his heartbeat, that ticking, 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 slow. And as it does, you see a strange sense come over his face, this sort of yawning. Just how he moves, a wince. He grits his teeth, grinding them. You can hear that gnawing crunch of his teeth, but he seems somehow unaware of it at the same time. His heartbeat completely still, even though he moves. After a moment, he gets suddenly to his feet and stands there. His eyes still closed, but his face transfixed in the direction where you stand. You sit. He looks down at you, and for some
When he's
reason,
standing?
he's standing and you're
I'm gonna
sitting.
stand when he
Okay.
stands, though.
He still looks down on you. He's much taller, and for some reason, his figure seems even more imposing in this moment. After a second, you hear this sort of a violent sort of vocalization, not Rillirn, comes from his throat, and his eyes open. They're angry in the way they transfix themselves on you, staring. And they wince almost in a curiosity. Who is she? The girl. Who is she? You hear nothing.
Okay.
She's but a friend.
You hear that. Okay. A friend.
Yes.
And who does she fight for?
Same as me.
Same as you.
Is he here, Rillirn?
Can you not hear him?
No. I don't hear anything.
Well, I am in this triangle, Rillirn.
I wanted to make sure that the deal is both on common ground with that deal. We've accepted.
I accept.
You do?
Now let us out.
Rillirn? What did he say?
What is that? What smell?
He has accepted the deal that I proposed last night.
Ask him. Can he hear me?
I can hear the witch.
He can hear you.
Why do you go after Tatyana?
Why does she care?
Why do you care?
I'm curious. Why go after her when I go after Strahd himself?
Do I have to explain this filth to this girl?
Merely a question.
Why would I separate a prisoner from his prison? Ask her that.
Do you want to keep chasing him? Keep chasing her for years on end?
Am I a puppet to you? Am I a conjured spirit to answer your stupid questions? Let me out. We have a deal, no?
Indeed we do. But as I found out last night after making this triangle, we cannot leave without both spirits and the body disintegrating.
So, get rid of the... whatever herbs you're burning.
I believe that will solve the problem.
Girl! Get rid of the incense! You hear that voice bark.
I don't know if that's a safe idea.
I will kick this chalk line if it's not moved.
Well, you can't kick the chalk line, as we found out last night as well. And it is the body that we need to keep safe.
You
not
feel your
necessarily
foot slide forward towards the salt.
You can try, but as we found out last night, when you try to do it, it stops.
Do
right
you
before
think
the salt
this is the
line.
last corpse I will take on?
I expect it not to be.
I expect it to be yours.
Oh.
Your voice goes quiet.
We will try to get rid of the incense and sage, And we will see if then breaking the salt line, if it does work. If it does not, we're staying here another night.
Silence.
Can you take away the incense and sage, please?
What purpose? Why?
We're going to try it out. Would you mind taking that out of the room, please?
For you? I like hold my head up high and as I walk towards the sage and the incense.
You see Rillirn's eyes, but his mouth is strangely snarled. Even though his eyes are somewhat kind to you, you get a sense that there's more than one emotion taking place as he watches you go and pick up the incense burning. You take it outside the room?
I just wanted to say something to him. but
What?
I held my tongue.
Go on.
Alright, because well, I don't know what he said, so I can't. Just how he's looking. Before I do this, I just have one thing to say to the spirit.
Go ahead.
You are but a dog that uses other people to do its bidding. Remember that as we go forward. And then pick out the sage and the incense.
You don't get a response, but you feel your face go red. And not an embarrassment.
It's also doing that for sure. Sorry.
Yeah, you see him, he looks as if he's holding his breath the way he stares at you, watching you take that incense out of the room. It takes a moment. There's these kind of tendrils of smoke still lingering. But after the majority of the smell and the lingering air is wafted out of the room, you feel your foot go out from underneath you as he takes a bold step outside the line. And nothing happens.
There we go then.
Give me one reason not to cut down the witch.
She's still useful in other ways. There's no need to go mindlessly killing everyone. We have a goal, do we not?
We do.
She can be helpful with that as well. As annoying as you might find her, she's still very useful. And a friend, and I would like to not see her take any harm.
Where then do you propose we start?
Honestly, I don't know. I've not met this Tatyana. I don't know where we would go about finding her. Where have you found her before? In Vladimir? In other towns? Barovia?
Am I outside or did I walk back in?
You are outside the room. You can be standing there. Do you want to come back in?
I just want to hear.
Yeah, you could be hearing from right
Yeah.
outside the door.
I just want to be
Okay.
hearing.
Yeah,
the
not
conversation.
inside though?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he
But can I hear him now?
no, he's not talking out loud.
Okay.
He's talking just in your head.
Okay.
He goes, there is an abbey to the west.
Right.
The Abbey of Saint Markovia is led by the abbot. He's lived far longer than most here in this land. He may know who Tatyana is.
Where exactly is this? Is this in Kresk? Is it near?
It is in Kresk.
I say we head there then.
I would agree.
Shall we go right away? Do you want... I mean, I know you have sentience during the night, but...
It will take some time to travel. You are weak without me in the day. You will become food for the wolves. We go now quickly. Yes.
All right. Yes, we can go now. All right. Do I have control?
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll just walk out the door then.
Okay. You walk out the door and immediately you see Anna standing there.
Oh. I assume you heard all that.
Your part.
Of course, it's only my part.
It's you.
So,
Where are you heading off to?
Kresk.
Crest. For?
You have to come and interrogate an abbot. An abbey. Yes. It's exciting times. You may come if you wish. I understand if not. But that is where I'm headed.
I do not know if I should go with you.
He definitely does not like you.
It's okay. I do not like him.
It is fair. But I believe he does see your usefulness, if nothing more.
Pity. I don't see his.
Fair enough. I guess I will be off then. Assume that is
But
a
you
no.
are my friend, and I don't know if I want to see you go alone.
It is your choice. I will not make you come. I will not make you stay.
Do you have to leave now?
He's very keen on it.
But Amadeus isn't back yet.
Jace can take care of himself.
He can.
I trust that both of you can.
But we should at least leave him something. If he comes back here, he's gonna wonder.
That is true. Yes, we can write him a note. Does that mean you're coming?
I do not fear him. I'll go with you.
Excellent. All right. Yes.
You walk faster downstairs.
Yeah. I'm gonna start walking, but I'll still kind of be talking to her. All right.
As he takes a step past you, you feel his shoulder hard just rail into the side of you. It turns you sideways, clearly deliberate, but he's completely silent, does not make any noise. You feel the wind kind of go out of you for a second.
Right. I feel that.
You feel that, yeah. Oh. Your feet continue walking down the stairs.
Yes.
He doesn't let you turn.
All right. I will write a note. You get anything you need. We'll be out as quickly as we can. All right.
How should we travel?
I was hoping by horse. Yes. I understand.
Since it's his will that we leave, maybe he should be the one to figure this out, not us.
We walk. Horses are slow. They sprint. They're sprinting animals. We'll be fine on foot.
You're sure?
You question me?
I have not seen your abilities firsthand other than our one bout. It seems we both had an equal exchange there, so if you think it's best on
I'm
foot,
sure.
we can go on foot. Alright. Gonna write the note quickly for Amadeus. Yo, we peaced out.
Yeah, that's
Gang,
it.
gang.
Not even,
Gang,
gang.
No, alright, Amadeus, headed to Kresk. Be back soon.
Yep.
Till then.
Perfect.
We fold into a bird.
I folded into a heart just for
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
Yes. And with that, you go back to Amadeus. Most everyone has left Argynvostholt.
That's pretty cool.
You stand there beside that gray stone dragon, tall shadow in just a little bit of moonlight that has crested the horizon. There, you see, just in lantern light, the other Marnikovs that do stand about you. You see your father-in-law, and you also see Adrian, talking to someone else for a brief moment. He hands you a short sword. I don't wish to start this again, but I would not have the holy symbol fall into the hands of the druids. I'm sure you can understand this.
I do.
Do you have it on your person?
Yes.
If you leave it here with us, I'll see that it is taken care of.
I hope so.
Lenora sort of looks at you like sidelong, like she sort of nudges you just like barely with her knee to give you a sideward glance. What are you doing?
Can you actually give me
He goes and kind of just looks over his shoulder and takes another step back.
I just want to take Lenore aside.
Okay. Yeah, she kind of like takes your hand and walks with you over to the other side of the statue. What are you doing?
What am I supposed to do? You want to start out an all-out war with your family?
Well, no, but I also don't think you should leave it with it.
I don't disagree with you.
You should have lied.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Okay, I get
I'm
what
not
you
going
were
to
saying.
this. Here.
No, just give it to him. Trust me.
I feel like he regrets what he's done.
Adrian is a rash man. He's very quick to anger.
Just
He's also not one that is quick to forgive.
doesn't seem like it. Can the chosen person be the only one who uses this?
I do not know. It is foretold that it is a devout prophet of the morning lord that might use such a symbol. Which I've not seen you pray once, so I'm assuming you are not. But it's also foretold that a stranger to the land.
Yeah, it was glowing that one time.
Glowing?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Just on its own?
Yeah.
This is good.
Just I'm not exactly sure how to use it.
Are you giving it to him or are you just keeping it?
Let me see if I can talk to him.
You,
It's not like the druids would know I have it on me.
if the druids like some things, I get what he's saying. I understand.
And can I keep it with your father-in-law?
Perhaps yes.
Oh, my father-in-law. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Just take it. Just here. Here. She takes it and walks around. Here you are. You happy? And she goes and puts it in Adrian's hand. He goes, happy enough. Sort of becomes transfixed with it, thumbing the metal. You recognize it in the moonlight, and from seeing the platinum before, it's actually completely made out of platinum.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key item. That's not one you sell.
Okay.
Obviously.
It would be best if you go under the cover of night. They are not as the undead. They are just people. Find the seed and come home safe. Yes?
Of course. And I better get that back when I come back.
You'll get it back when you make it back.
I'll make it back.
Very well.
I had to say it in confidence.
Yeah, he goes and kind of puts it away. Lenore walks past him. Kind of just, she shoves him aside to get past, just in a kind of passive aggressive manner, just able to get to her father. She gives him a last hug, and he, tears in his eyes, go, why do you have to go with me? Why? He goes, I'll be back. I promise. She turns back and winks at you, just real subtle, but continues to walk past Adrian again. Let's go.
Alright. You go first.
Yeah, she turns into a raven again, starts shooting up into the sky.
Like a fall.
You do. And as you fly, you actually see a few other ravens tailing behind you. They linger for a bit, following you up as you soar over the tree line, flying higher and higher. They eventually tail off and return back, as if escorting you just out of the area. As you soar up into the night, you sort of catch a glance of Lenore. She looks over at you. And for a moment there, you see her twist and turn. And she turns into her human form, there for a moment. She smiles at you, holding the symbol, and plummets through the air, just before turning back into a raven, her wings spread out again.
Just gonna laugh.
Lenore's the best.
She's the best thing that happened to me
Yes.
since eggnog.
Okay.
Real life.
Oh, fair.
The two of you go soaring off, and we'll go back for a brief moment.
Excuse me.
To Rillirn and Annalie. You walk there through the streets of night. You, not completely of your own volition, your strides, you find them longer, almost straining, but you have to put no real effort forth. You watch, trying to keep up, you find yourself staggering in your steps, almost halfway in between a jog and a fast walk. Go ahead and roll for perception.
9. And I have a -1, so 8.
Transfixed on him, you don't find yourself distracted by anything as you're continuing then towards the west gate. Up ahead, you do see a guard sitting at his post.
We're at the west gate, right?
Yes, at the west gate. You start nearing that gate there. You storming up full stride. You see a moment there, he turns around and looks down at the two of you, primarily to him as he's far closer. Before he gets out a word, would you like to say anything?
Please open up the gate.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can do that now. Just, be quick. Don't want nothing getting in.
Of course.
He goes and just...
I catch up.
You go, and just as the gate goes above you, you duck your head and continue through. Anna, you follow him outside the gate?
Yeah.
You go storming off straight down that road. Yeah, and you see him. He's starting to kind of lose you if you don't catch up into. You start jogging. Do you chase after him? What do you do?
It's the west. Have we gone out that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way towards.
That's the guy that I kept throwing a coin to whenever we would come
It's the
by.
way if you were going towards
The camp.
Van Richten's tower. If you're
Oh.
going towards
The Druid.
Argynvostholt, the Druids, the winery, it's all out that direction. Kresk is that direction as well, which you have not been to.
A familiar road.
Okay. I jog.
I'd like to look back. Can I look back and see that she's pretty far behind me?
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of look back and your feet continue carrying you forward.
Can we slow down just a little bit?
Do we have time to slow down?
I mean, are you capable of surviving through the night?
I am.
Then I think we can slow down just a little bit.
It's not the night that I'm afraid of. It's the dawn, when your flimsy corpse is all that's left of us.
Which is why I wanted to get a horse. Not just.
We'll walk quickly.
Right.
We will keep up with any horse. And spare the time in fetching one. Hurry up if you're coming! You hear his voice trail back towards you.
If you're so strong, just carry me then.
You shake, your head just shakes.
I thought
You
about
hear
that
these kind of
before,
muttering
but I
underneath
didn't
your
think
breath.
you'd go for it.
Mitch. Oh, hey. As you're continuing, you headlong, you begin to hear something off in the far distance. Chiming of bells. The ringing of beads. And there, far off in the distance, you hear the faint playing of a violin. Far down the road, you see a Vistani wagon coming towards you. A heavy draft horse with its furry hoofs comes clopping down the road towards you.
What is a Vistani wagon doing out here?
They come and go as they please. Who knows?
Fair enough. Seems odd though.
Not really. It fits them.
Alright. She might know more about it than I do, so fair enough.
That wagon continues forward, and you slow enough for Anna to catch up to you. You kind of step off to the side of the road, watching, crooked over, leering at that wagon as it comes closer. You feel your face kind of pinch in this disgust.
I'm not trusting of them.
Are you?
Not that many. I have no idea
It
what
would
to
be a
do with them.
mistake. As that wagon comes closer and closer, it's slowing.
Most
It
likely
comes-
socks.
It comes to a stop just before the two of you. You see a man there, colorfully dressed. He wears a green hat, felt with several different falcon feathers plucked and pressed into his hat. He looks down at you. Anna. No?
Yes.
Anna, would you care to come with us?
Where are you going?
Oh, to and fro.
You know these people?
Yes.
I am Dominique. Pleasure.
Oh, Rillirn.
You go to shake his hand, and before you can meet it, your hand drops to your side.
Not much of a handshake, I'm sorry.
Apparently, would you care to come inside? You hear the door click without him even touching it.
I'd love to.
Good trick.
I'm sorry, there is no room for your great friend.
It's fine, I have somewhere to be.
He has a different
Indeed.
task.
With that, your feet start to carry you again. Just like, we don't have time for this.
I'm sorry, Learn. I'll see if I can catch up later.
Of course, I'll see you
Friend
again.
of the Vistani is some friend. Vistani, all of them, they're all agents of the vile devil. You hear you're just kind of muttering, your lips themselves moving as you kind of carry on down that road there. You're able to kind of look back as you see Anna. You go up to the wagon. Please excuse me, but I did not wish to reveal my friend. He goes and waves his hand, the door comes opening, and you see there, sitting inside, Strahd von Zone.
Oh my god.
Oh my
And that is where we're gonna take a break.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
This simp
That
just
is
stays simping.
amazing!